Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews, and this is my review for Thunderbolts.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy. Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
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 Don't make me destroy you.
So yeah, Thunderbolts. It's the latest Marvel movie to be released. I can't remember how many there've been at this point now. I've completely lost count. And I'm a little bit behind in terms of this one as well, because, spoiler alert, Thunderbolts is actually called something else now. It's called The New Avengers, and that's really revealed at the end of the movie itself. And we'll get more to that in a second. But this movie essentially features a load of cast-off characters, if you like. We've got Yelena Belova, we've got Bucky Barnes, Red Guardian, Ghost, Taskmaster, and John Walker as well, who was Captain America very briefly in Falcon and Winter Soldier, that TV show. Really good character for my money. And these characters, they find themselves trapped in a death trap organised by Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, the day being very important to her name. And these cast of misfits must work together to uncover a secret plan that Valentina, beg your pardon, is planning after trying to kill them all. And basically, they're all dealing with their internal struggles, they're all dealing with their internal problems. They find it difficult to work with anybody else, and this film essentially is about them all coming together to overcome what is essentially an existential threat of the century. And I'll be honest with you, I actually really rather enjoyed this film.
Bullshit.
It's not perfect. I don't think it's a great movie. I don't think it's up there in the higher echelons of Marvel movies. But in terms of the very recent slop that we have had to endure over the last few years, especially coming after Captain America 4 as well, there is a vast difference in terms of the way it's structured, the tightness of it. This movie is very tight. It's quite a short movie. I think it's just under 2 hours. It feels very tight, it feels very compact, and it feels very character driven. That is in stark contrast to the bombastic, all over the place, here, there, everywhere nature of Captain America 4. This one is very, very much centered around these characters. It keeps it very much tight and compact. Within them, we don't see any broad, wide opening shots, of this massive, huge entity or creature that they have to bring down. It is literally, they are battling their own inner demons, and then they're battling something else that is brought on by somebody else's inner demons. It is very much an introspective film on these characters and how they don't really fit in with anything. They don't fit in with the world, they don't fit in with themselves. And it does work to a large degree. There are a few moments where you kind of roll your eyes at, and unfortunately for me, there is a massive moment in the very first 20 minutes of this movie, and there is a character all over the posters who for my money, is absolutely, completely wasted, and that is Taskmaster. Taskmaster is completely destroyed within the first 20 minutes of this movie, unceremoniously killed off, and that's it.
That is one big pile of shit.
Done, gone. What a fucking waste of a character. I didn't like the way the character was portrayed in Black Widow. I certainly don't like the way it's portrayed in this movie. The character in the comic books is a brilliant idea. It's an idea that would have fitted very well in this world of showing how the character is able to mimic and overcome opponents. We got very briefly of that in Black Widow. We get none of that in this film. And then it's fucking killed off. What the fuck? And I'll be honest with you, after that happened, I went, "Oh Jesus Christ, here we go. We're going to have this kind of movie, aren't we? Where we're just destroying things for the sake of it. We're not utilising characters properly. We're not utilising ideas or thoughts properly." Because Taskmaster is would have worked in this world. Absolutely would have worked in this world if they'd done the right thing with him, if they'd utilised the character properly, but they didn't, and it's fucking flitted away completely. And it infuriates me, because this is symptomatic of a lot of things that Marvel have done in the past with characters, with bad guys that have come and gone and fucking been farted away in the wind for no reason other than bad fucking writing. And I feel like because of the way Taskmaster was handled in Black Widow, they've kind of been bottlenecked into doing, well, where do we go from here with her? And I'll tell you what, we'll just fucking kill her off. And it's a shame, because there are some really great comic book moments. There's moments in the games as well with Taskmaster we've had in the past, of this mimicking ability, being able to mimic and then predict what moves are coming. It's interesting. It would have been interesting to keep hold of Taskmaster, possibly for an X-Men movie or a Futures Avengers movie. And who knows, maybe we'll get a Return of Taskmaster in Doomsday and whatever. So this might just be a bit of vitriol for the sake of my being infuriated by it. But suffice to say, moving on from that moment, the film carries on at breakneck speed. There is a little bit of a lull in the middle section where there's a bit of to-ing and fro-ing and dealing with character emotions, but for the large part, it works. It really does work. And I for the first time in a very long time, I actually felt interested in what was being said by these people, by these characters. I was interested in some of the dilemmas that they're having to deal with. I was interested in their own personal issues, with John Walker really standing out to me. You know, everything that he's gone through. He's not necessarily a bad guy.
Are you serious?
He's just a terrible human being. He's got issues, he's got problems.
No shit.
And there are people out there like that aren't habitually bad people. They just do stupid things and make mistakes and can't seem to overcome them because of public perception, the way the peers look at them, which is exactly what you get in this film. And then we've got the other side of it as well, that Yelena's dealing with a lot of post-traumatic stress. She's dealing with issues. She's dealing with, not being able to sleep. She feels like she's just trudging through life. And it does work, and the writing does help. It's not perfect. There are a lot of moments where characters are repeating lines. I lost count of the amount of time Yelena says, for example, "Oh my God," in reaction to someone, in reaction to something that somebody's saying. And use a thesaurus, a thesaurus.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Use a thesaurus to think of something else. Get on fucking dictionary.com and find a different way of saying "oh my God," because you literally repeated it about 17 times and it just comes across as basic. But I realise, looking at this, that I'm looking at things in a very nitpicky way, and one of those nitpicky things is literally when the team finally comes together towards the end of the film to fight and battle Sentry, who is portrayed brilliantly in this film. I've really enjoyed the character. It's an interesting dynamic against what these characters are. And there's a moment where they're all trying to save people on the ground, and they stop a big pile of rubble from crushing one woman, and that woman moves out the way. They all join in to lift, and then they push over this big block. And I thought they were going to do a joke, because there's a lot of jokes in this movie, and I thought they were going to do a joke of like, well, why did we just push that over? We could have just dropped it, but they don't, and instead we get one of those cheap, everybody's clapping for them scenes, and it's little moments like that that make my eyes roll and make me go, oh, Jesus Christ, do we have to do that? You're doing something that's working. Why are you changing it up? Why are you adding in these pointless, simple wins? Stick to your guns. They could have literally just gone, oh, we can drop this now, guys. She's not there anymore, and made a joke out of it. We know where the trajectory is going for these people. We know they're eventually going to be seen as being heroes at the end of the film. That's not something that's hidden well in the trailers. It's certainly not something that's been hidden well, when after the opening weekend. If you didn't see this film in opening weekend like me, you're in trouble, because it's been revealed that the title is The New Avengers, so we know exactly where this movie's going. Nothing is hidden, nothing's kept secret, there are no shocks or surprises. And like I said, in terms of eye-rolling moments, the way a couple of the characters get over their inner demons is a bit flimsy and weak. Yelena being the main one, she has issues with her father, she has issues with, losing Black Widow, her sister, and it all comes across as a bit flimsy. And towards the end of the film, she and Red Guardian hug it out and apparently everything's okay, then that's not how it works, really. You know, having first-hand experience and things like that, it ain't how it works, and I didn't buy it. I call bullshit fundamentally on that. But suffice to say, the film is it's a lot of fun. And what more can you ask for after quite a few years now of dribble, of wet fart releases, when you can actually sit there and go, oh, that's quite funny. Oh, that was all right. Oh, the action's quite interesting there. Like I said, it's not perfect. I'm not calling this movie great, and I don't think this movie is great at all. I think it's very good at what it does. I think it's very serviceable. I think in the grand scheme of things, it's probably got more impact than any of the other films released in the last 5 years since Endgame. God, has it really nearly been that long? And I think that's the point. Yeah, that's the point here, is that it does enough to justify its own existence, where a lot of the other films haven't. And for me, I think that's what makes this a decent film to watch, a good film to watch. Definitely one I might go and rewatch again, which again is something I haven't said for a very long time. So there you go. Thunderbolts, New Avengers, whatever you want to call it a minute, because the cinemas haven't changed the title, so I don't know what they're doing there. But yeah, there it is, my review for Thunderbolts. An interesting movie, a lot of things to enjoy from it, some eye-rolling moments, but, you know, it is one of those I think is a lot better than what we've been treated to in the past. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think about this movie? Have you seen it yet? If you haven't, are you as irked as I am that they fucking released what is the actual real title? I mean, it's unavoidable, it's in the bloody film, for fuck's sake, but, you know, it's one of those. It's either going to go down as the greatest marketing ploy in history, or it's going to go down as one of those of, well, what was the fucking point, really? And I think that will depend a lot on what it does in terms of generating revenue going forward. I'm not sure on the box office. I'm not even sure on the reviews, to be fair. I don't know how it's been faring. I've just had word of mouth from a couple of close mates, including Mr. Spider-Dan, to go and check this movie out, that it is all right. And it is. It is all right. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. Like I said, if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more reviews like this. And I will see you on the next one. I guess we're on the steps to Fantastic Four first steps, aren't we? So I'll see you there for that one. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.